This is not a used motorcycle sales lot. This is my personal collection. Lots of ponies in the stable. 5 total. I know other people have a lot more. I know that some people think it's crazy to spend that much money on bikes, and sometimes I actually think the same thing. But I really enjoy riding motorcycles almost better than anything I can think of doing. It's got a sense of freedom, a sense of adventure, and I love it. Now, I'm going to run through these bikes real quick, and then I'll do a little bit of detail. 4 of these are Hondas. One of them is a genuine Buddy 50cc Buddy Riot scooter. All right, so we have the Buddy Riot scooter right there. We have the Honda ADV 160. This is a 2026. Bought it with 0 miles on it. I've had this one for a while. When I sold all my Yamahas and then went back to motorcycle riding, I picked up this Honda NC700X. Love it. You cannot get better mileage per cc than this bike. It's a 670 and it gets 71 average miles per gallon. I'm not kidding. And then there's the 2025. No, I'm sorry. Don't I wish. The 2005 Honda Goldwing. Oh, got my finger in there. And the 2024 Honda Africa Twin. I bought that with 0 miles on it, but I bought it in 2026. It was in a crate because there was a recall on it, and I guess they didn't build it until they had the part, and they were having trouble getting the part. So they finally got the part, they built it, they put it on the bike sales floor, at a pretty good discount, so I snapped it up. All right, so now that we've talked about that, let's go through these bikes one by one, and I want to ask you which one you think I enjoy riding the most out of all 4 of these bikes. 5 of these bikes that I went through. Believe it or not, the one that I enjoy riding the most is this a little over $5,000. What was I paid? 57 something, 57.50, 59.95, something like that. Out the door, taxes and registration and everything. I think that was right. Got a little bit of a deal because I've been dealing with the guys down at that dealership for a while. It's crazy, but it's 157 cc's, and I enjoy riding this the most, and I actually ride it the most. So isn't that kind of crazy? All right, so I'm surprised at how much power it has for a 157. I ride it on the interstate rarely. You can get by with it in town for short spurts. Most people wouldn't be crazy enough to take it on the interstate. You could do a long jaunt on the interstate, but if you do, you should stay in the right lane. Probably maintain 60 miles an hour, 55, 60 miles an hour, and run with your hazard flashers on, because otherwise you're going to get run over. On backcountry roads, backcountry highways, a little safer, but some of those are still 75 mile an hour. You'd be like high vis gear. I mean, honestly, I have this wild dream of riding this from Texas to Alaska. I know that's crazy, and it is. It's crazy because it is crazy. But there are guys that have ridden small displacement bikes, extraordinary amounts of miles on road trips. I once owned a Yamaha C3 scooter, which is a neat little thing that looked a lot like the old Cushman scooters, sort of reminiscent of it. There was a couple in Canada that rode all the way across Canada together on a 50cc Yamaha C3 scooter. That's amazing. And lived to tell about it. I also really love this little Buddy 50cc scooter. It's a 2-stroke, and it's carbureted, and I like that ying, 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 ying sound. You know what I'm talking about if you know anything about motorcycles at all. I was actually storing things in this net, if I ran a little, and then I ended up getting these. They look really bad now because they've been in the rain and sagging and stuff in them, and I just got these off of Amazon for cheap. I think they were like $35, and it's connected in the middle, and you sling it over and shut your seat on. There's under seat storage here, of course, as you know, and you just pinch it in there, and it stays, and I love it. I don't have to, you know, tie any strings on it to hold it in place or anything. And right now it looks so sad. I mean, it looks like it's been through the mill. But anyhow, so I get 95 miles to the gallon on this. I've ridden this on 20-mile trips and 20 miles, about 40-mile round trip from my resort town down to the small town. Well, small-ish. I mean, it's really gotten large now. And I get about 95 miles a gallon out of it, even though it's a carbureted bike. Okay, this one, well, I take this actually on the backcountry highways, you know, which are like 55 to 60 to 65 mile an hour, a lot, and I'm getting right around 89 miles a gallon, I think it is, 88, 89, 90 miles a gallon out of it. And when I don't ride it on the highway, I get like 110 miles a gallon out of it. So that's pretty extraordinary. Now, this is a fuel injected scooter. It's got a single cylinder, 4 valves for that single cylinder, and it's 12-to-1 compression piston. Even though they say I can still run regular 87 gas, but we have this fortunately available in our area. I run no ethanol gasoline, 89 octane, no ethanol gasoline, and everything I own, from motorcycles to cars. It's expensive. I don't care. I think it's the best. Certainly it's the best if you're not going to be riding. If you got 5 bikes, how often can you ride all of them? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some of these sit with a little gas in the tank for a while. The no ethanol fuel is more stable than the stuff with the ethanol in it. Quite a bit more stable. Lasts longer without going stale. Okay. So, about this NC700X. Phenomenal mileage, averages 71 miles a gallon. I'm not kidding. It is built for mileage. It's the best fuel mileage bike in the world there are 250s that don't get that good of mileage, and this is a 670, and seriously, I'm serious, it gets 70 to 71 miles per gallon average. And when it gets better mileage at altitude, I went on a 3,200 mile round trip to Utah and visited Arches and Canyonlands and Bryce Canyon. And there was one mountain pass that I went up. I shot up. I was passing everybody. I don't want to say how fast I was going. And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get such bad mileage when I fill this thing up. 83 miles a gallon, and that's for real, guys. I was a semi-truck driver for 16 years. I know how to measure my fuel mileage, and it was 83 actual. Now, if you're in a headwind, doing 75 miles an hour in a headwind in Texas at low altitude, it drops down to 50 to 53 mpg. But normally, without headwinds and stuff like that, just normal riding, yeah, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73 all day long. Okay, the next bike is the Goldwing. I got burned on this one. And looking back, I realized that the guy knew he was burning me, and I didn't really figure it out until I thought over the conversation after I'd bought the bike. These unfortunately have, if you're looking at 01, 02, 03, 04, and 05, they had bad electronic control modules. The ECM would go bad. No, you cannot send them in to somebody and have them flashed or reprogrammed. It's an organic, physical problem. Something on the board breaks down, and then you start throwing, what do you call that? A fault indicator code, either 26 or 25. And it's claiming that you got knock sensor problems. No, you don't have a knock sensor problem. You have a bad ECM. And I don't take any chances with people that you don't know or don't trust. I mean, maybe some of you can get by with ordering something on eBay, but I didn't go that route. I went through the dealership. I found a trustworthy dealership in town. That's almost an oxymoron, but I did find a trustworthy dealership in town. Cost me sorry, that was a board that fell over. $1,300 for the part, and then I had some other doodads. I had the installation done. I had the pairings taken off. I had them do the air cleaner while they were in there, and a couple other little doodads. So out the door, it was right around $2,000, a little over $2,000. So I paid $2,000 more than market value for this bike because I had to fix it. That's too bad. But since then, it's been an amazing bike, mostly. Sometimes this controls stick, and that's irritating. Very smooth, very comfortable, very powerful. 123 horsepower, only 5 gears, but it's fast. And it's smooth, really. I mean, unparalleled smooth. And it's easy to ride. Let me tell you, this thing is so balanced. People are like, "Oh, it's so heavy." Yeah, it's 900 pounds. Guess what? It feels like it's 500 pounds. I mean, you know, it doesn't feel any heavier than that. Actually, it feels lighter than the Africa Twin because it sits low and it's well balanced. All right, Africa Twin 2024. It sat in the box at the dealership because there was a recall on it. They couldn't come up with the parts because they were back ordered. So they finally built the bike. They put it on the floor in 2026 at a discount, and I snapped it up. It's got the DCT. All right, let's talk about DCT. Some people rave about them. A lot of people rave about them. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's nice sometimes. Other times it's just a little bit of a hassle. You know, one more thing to think about, and playing with the controls and getting it to dial in exactly the way you want it to. And okay, now I want it in drive because I want good mileage. Now I'm going through corners, so I got to put it in sport mode. No, that's not good enough. Let me shift it to manual mode. You know, if I had it to do over again, I honestly think that I would have just gotten the 6-speed manual. There are things I really like about the DCT, like the acceleration is insane. All right, that's a 105 horsepower bike, somewhere around there, 101, 105, something like that. The Goldwing's 123 horsepower bike. I actually sometimes think the acceleration is faster on the Africa Twin because the DCT shifts so fast. There's no delay at all. So the acceleration is just insane. Really, really good. I mean, it ain't no crotch rocket, but it's really, it's got some pep, I'm telling you. All right, so I got these nice stock Honda cases. That's a Givi on the back. It's an Africa Trekker. It's big. It's like, I can't remember. It's like, what is it, 59 liters? I don't know. It's not 48. It's bigger than that. I know that. And then I put a little Kimimoto. I like Kimimoto. There's a good little company. That's a little Kimimoto bag. All right, but I spent a lot of money on that Givi. Man, I can't remember. I think it was like $450 or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. I might be lying to, but I don't mean to. All right, but the one that I like way better than that Givi is this thing that I bought for this scooter. And I was really amazed because, you know, Honda does not sell any top box parts for this ADV 160 in America. Europe and all that, Europe, Japan, yeah, they do. America, no, because people look at scooters as nerd cycles in the USA, especially in Texas. I'm here to tell you, and I was going to go into that, I enjoy riding this ADV 160 more than all these other bikes. I really do. It's easy, it's peppy, it's maneuverable, it gets amazing mileage. It's simple, it's pleasurable, I can see everything. You know, the Africa Twin, you almost feel like you're sitting in the bike instead of on the bike, which, you know, sometimes that's cool. But this, the visibility is crazy good. And that's why I went with the sporty shorty windshield on the Africa Twin, because I hated looking through that big tall windshield. It was driving me crazy and making me hot, you know, because I live in a hot climate. Okay, so the thing you gotta have, actually I had this on my NC700X and then I switched it over to my ADV. I think this is a Kimimoto, I can't remember. It might be. But this little wind wing on top of the windshield, you cannot believe the difference. All right, the windshield has two positions, low and high. I had it I tried it in the low, helmet buffeting. I tried it in the high, different kind of helmet buffeting. And then finally, I put the wind wing on it, and I'm like, this is it. I don't feel oppressive wind anymore. This is amazing. It's going over my head, and this is so cool. So I highly recommend these. They don't cost that much. I bought this one on Amazon. I bought the top box on Amazon. It is a Wolfline. I love this thing way better than my Givi, and I'm telling you, it was a darn sight cheaper too, at least by half. And now I got this. I'm kind of the ultimate nerd. So I put a sign on the back of my scooter because, you know, it's got good acceleration for 157, but it's still 157. So I put a sign on the back of it, caution, do not tailgate. So, but these pull out. They pull out hard, but they do pull out. So it's like a table. They say, you know, you pop the top box off and set it in the grass, and you can have a picnic. And these both sides fold out, and so you can have a little picnic table or whatever. I mean, put that back down. I like it, and then I can hang gear on these. You know, I can put those little cable ties, you know, from Walmart, those big rubberized cable ties, and hang stuff on here if I want. You know, balance your load. Don't be crazy. All right. But it's got a great liner in it. It's padded. I mean, the Givi doesn't have a liner in it. Look at this. It's got pockets in it. The only thing about it is, for a long time, it smells weird. It's like kind of like a chemically smell. I don't know if it's the material or the glue. And I don't, you know, I mean, I'm not riding with my head in it, so that doesn't matter. It's just when you open it, it's like, wow, that's really strong. I'm sure it'll get better over time because, you know, it always says shut. All right. So what else can I tell you about this? All right. The top box is great. There's my nerd sign. You're going to think I'm crazy. I'm actually thinking seriously about putting one of these on all my 4 road bikes. And, you know, I've actually noticed that it works. But here's the thing. It'll help with a lot of people. It won't help at all with some people. And then there's this psychotic group that will tailgate you more just because you have the sign on there. Well, anyhow, I actually, so far, I like the results. People seem to be keeping their distance a bit more. And I'm all for that because I do not want to get bumped into in the backside. All right, so I think I've covered everything I wanted to except these really sweet little bags. Okay, I got these bars. I love these bars. I can't remember. I got these off of Amazon. I don't remember the brand. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't know whoever would want me to sponsor their stuff. These lights are becoming extremely popular. They're putting them on BMWs and Africa Twins. I actually have some on my Africa Twin also. I put them on here because I just want to be really visible on a scooter. I want to be visible on anything. These are Keywig. Yeah, Keywig. And they mounted them, the dealership mounted them upside down. That's okay. We'll fix it some other time. They still work. Not precisely the way they're meant to, but they work pretty good. They did do it right on the Africa Twin. Okay. And these little bags, I wanted a little splash of yellow for visibility because it's a gray bike, gray and black. I mean, you can't see gray and black. When I ride my black bike, I wear like an electric yellow highway vest because let me explain something to you. I had a white VW and I had a black VW, Volkswagen, okay? And the white Volkswagen was never hit, and the black Volkswagen was hit 3 times, once by a lawyer. Anyhow, the fact of the matter is that you can't see black during the nighttime, and you really can't see, believe it or not, you can't see black in the daytime. Not as well as you can. I mean, look at this. Well, I grant you it's in the shade, but you go out on the road and you look at bikes or cars and you pick out a white one and you pick out a red one and then you pick out a black one and you see which one is more visible. Just stand under out from a highway bridge sometime and just look at the cars, which one's more visible. Visibility means a lot on a bike. Now, visibility, as far as colors, is not going to guarantee that people are going to see you. You're invisible out there. Just treat yourself like you are invisible, because you are. It's you don't expect people to avoid you. You avoid them. You need to be proactive and defensive driver. I was a semi-truck driver for 16 years. I had many defensive driving courses. I did not realize that those actually will transfer over to riding motorcycles. And I credit that as being one of the main things, besides a lot of help from the Lord above. I credit that more than anything with keeping me alive on a bike. I recently took an advanced motorcycle training course from highway motorcycle officers, or well, a motorcycle officer, and it was good. It was all in a lot, and I learned stuff. I wish they had one that they actually took you out on the road for, you know, real world practice, but I guess maybe there's too much liability with that. So, little splash of color, which I like. Got a little splash of color in the front and a little splash of color in the back. And that concludes my video. I hope I didn't bore you out of your mind. And I cannot find my Insta360 camera, so I'm not doing any videos from the bikes yet. I did before, but I really stink at editing video. I can't really figure it out. So hopefully I'll get there someday. Anyhow, a like would be nice, and a subscribe would be better. And this is not a dedicated motorcycle channel. I do some other stuff. I'm the karaoke cowboy, and I've done some other stuff, but hopefully I can, once I get my computer running, because our internet out here stinks out here in the hill country. If I can get my computer sorted out and get the video editing program sorted out, maybe I can have a dedicated motorcycle channel. Until then, thanks very much for watching this, and ride safe.